Today we're checking out the new Pixel 9a by Google, which has a different design now. It comes in 4 different colors. The one I've got here is Porcelain. It starts at $499. I actually got mine quite a bit cheaper because I still had store credit from some other Pixel devices that I bought. It comes with 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage. It's got 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it comes with the Tensor G4 chip now. It's also now IP68, dust and water resistant. Okay, probably looks a little better in person than I was expecting. You can see it's got the squared off edges, has an iPhone feel to it, similar to the regular Pixel 9 series now. Just a hair lighter at 186 grams. Has the SIM card tray, USB-C charging, and speaker there on the bottom. I wasn't too sure when they were getting rid of the visor there on the back, but in person it actually looks pretty good. Feels like pretty good build quality. Here's what the official white silicone case looks like. Actually looks really nice in person. Of course, I'll have to do a best cases available video for the Pixel 9a, hopefully here soon. It's got a slightly larger 6.3-inch Actua display by 2424 resolution with up to 120 Hz refresh rate. It's also brighter now at 2700 nits peak brightness. Of course, you have the fingerprint scanner right there on the front. You've also got face unlock as well. You've also got AI features from Gemini, Circle to Search, Add Me for group photos, and then Studio as well. By default, it has gesture navigation, but you can always go into the settings and switch it to 3-button navigation. This comes with Android 15, and it gets 7 years of software updates, so still leading the way when it comes to software updates. Can't really say this is my favorite wallpaper. Good thing is there's a ton of different options to choose from. It looks like it's just a hair thicker, a hair taller than the Pixel 8a. I feel like the G is just a little bit bigger as well. You can see it's definitely a little more simplified. I don't know, I guess I like it better than I thought I would. I do still like the rounded corners on the older one though. I don't know if it's because I'm so used to Samsung now, but I feel like you really have to reach just to get the power button now. I also like how it's a matte finish on the back and on the sides. Looks like they finally made the bezels the same all the way around. We're on the Pixel 8a. It's a little bit larger on the chin or the bottom. I think the screen quality on here is pretty similar to the Pixel 8a. Good viewing angles, nice contrast, blacks are nice and dark. To tell you the truth, I don't know if this is that much different than my Galaxy S25 Plus when it comes to screen quality. You can see pretty much all the pre-installed apps are just the ones from Google. Tap and hold on the home screen to get your wallpaper and style, widgets, home settings. Google Discover, left of the home screen. Tap and hold on the small line there at the bottom for Circle to Search. I still wish they would put a clear all button right here at the bottom, similar to Samsung, so you don't have to swipe all the way over. It's only using about 15 gigabytes of the 128 available. It might be a little higher once it's done updating. Up in the notification shade, it's got most of your typical stuff. Screen cast and screen record, quick share, auto rotate. And there's a ton of different stuff that you can add, like one-handed mode, extra dim, VPN, calculator, live transcribe, and so on. Fingerprint scanner seems to work pretty good so far, so that's good to see. It's a pretty minimal upgrade in single and multi-core scores, but it has quite a bit better GPU performance. So I think the performance is going to be plenty for most people, and you can play games like PUBG Mobile and Asphalt Legends Unite pretty easily on here, not to mention most of the other games in the App Store. So again, a nice upgrade in performance over the Pixel 8a. Also has a slightly larger battery at 5100 milliamp hours. It's only 23 watt fast charging, so just a little faster than before. Of course, there's going to be a lot of variables when it comes to battery life, but I also ran my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness, and it lasted about 15 hours. So really good compared to other phones that I've tested, and about 3 hours longer than the previous Pixel 8a. So it should last a couple days for most people. And then even though charging speeds aren't the best out there, I'm guessing the battery on this phone should be in better health 5 to 7 years from now, compared to some of the other phones out there that have super fast charging. So if you want really good battery life, I think most people are going to be pretty happy with this one. I don't feel like the speakers on here are going to be the loudest or best sounding out there, but for a mid-range phone, I feel like they're good enough. Here's a quick audio sample just to give you an idea of what it sounds like.
Try to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
It still has two cameras on the back, 48 megapixel main lens and a 13 megapixel ultra wide. And then it still has a 13 megapixel ultra wide lens there on the front. You can also record up to 4K 60 frames per second for video recording. Inside the camera app, you've got long exposure. You've got Add Me if you don't have enough people to take a group photo, portrait, photo, night sight, and panorama. You'll also notice they still separate photo and video. You've got cinematic pan, video, slow motion, and time lapse. You can shoot up to 4K resolution, 60 frames per second for video recording. Looks like it takes all the photos upside down. That's probably not a good sign. Not a huge surprise, but the quality looks really good here in my studio lighting. Of course, once I go out and start taking photos, then they look fine. I think it was just upside down because I was recording. Here's a few quick samples just to give you an idea of what to expect on the Pixel 9a. Not a huge surprise, but photo and video quality on this phone is actually much better than you would expect. In fact, it's probably better than some flagship phones that I've used. I feel like the rear-facing camera does a little bit better on video, but overall, pretty good quality for photo and videos. Overall, it definitely feels like a pretty nice upgrade from the previous Pixel 8a. Now that you get 7 years of software updates on the Pixel 8a and the 9a, probably going to be a tougher decision. Definitely going to be personal preference on which style you like, but so far, I definitely like what I'm seeing with the Pixel 9a. I may have to switch to this phone full time just to see how it compares to some of my Samsung phones. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.